Hi, Sagittarius. So instead of doing the second half of October readings, I've decided to do, not Mercury, Venus retrograde readings for each of the signs. This is spanning from October 5th until November 18th. Venus will be retrograde in Scorpio during this time. And it will also, so Venus will be retrograde in Scorpio during that time. It's actually going to go all the way back into Libra. So it'll be in Libra when it goes direct in November, on November 18th. And it will be direct in Libra for, I think, the rest of November, and then go back into Scorpio. And it'll be in Scorpio again until January. So really long transition for Venus. And so what we're going to do is get an oracle card for the overall energy of Venus while it's in retrograde. And then we will clarify with tarot. So it'll be just like a regular reading, except for we're going to get an oracle card for it. So we can kind of see what's going to happen for you guys. Sagittarius, Venus retrograde. I hope you guys are having a really good October. It's been interesting so far. Like, I already, went through it was really strange. I was driving back yesterday from my family trip that I had this weekend, the last minute family trip I had. And I got home and I dropped the boys off with their dads, and I got this overwhelming sadness. It was so weird. It just overcame me serious. It wasn't really, really bad, but that hasn't hit me in a long time like that. So, the energy is pretty potent, and it's a really back and forth kind of energy. So, you could, and I didn't sleep very well last night. It's just plus there were solar showers and stuff going on right now too. So let's see. And the cards are being really stubborn. I might have to, oh, there it is. I know every single time I'm just about ready to say I'm going to pick a card, something pops out. Rebuild. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So this is the Tower. This is the Tower energy. So either the Tower has already happened, and the Tower is just something very uncomfortable. Sometimes it can be really bad. Sometimes it can just be an inner thing that happened, a lesson that you need to learn. Usually the Tower shows up when we're being stubborn and not moving forward and not learning the lessons, and the universe comes in and it's we're not going to do it this way. And the reason why I feel like you guys have the Tower, we have the Tower, Sag moon, right? I am a Sag moon, is the Two of Pentacles. There's a decision that needs to be made. There's some vacillating that's happening. So during Venus retrograde, there are things in any retrograde, it's a time to redo things, redevelop, reevaluate. It's all about the right? So you could be Ace of Pentacles, questioning your stability, which makes a lot of sense if the Tower's here, because the Tower is an unstable energy, but it had to be unstable. It had to crumble. The Tower's all about evolution. So I feel like there's a lesson within either work, money, your stability. You're vacillating on something and not taking a risk, not taking the chance by just making the decision. And that's why the Tower had to show up, right? And then we have Temperance. So you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, or this is also Scorpio energy, by the way. So, and it doesn't have to be about relationships with Venus retrograde, because Venus is all about creativity and projects and money. And, Scorpio is all about shared resources and transformation. And I feel like you guys are trying to balance things out. Temperance is all about balance and kind of coming into a balance of your mind, your body, your soul, being very patient with it. But it's almost like you're being too patient with whatever decision you need to make. It's you're kind of almost waiting for divine timing to happen, and it's showing up as the Tower. So, and what is the result? The Three of Swords. That's painful, Sagittarius. That's painful. That's not something that we really, like, that Three of Swords is not enjoyable. But remember also with the Three of, and this is why you guys are in the Hanged Man position here. The Three of Swords, you can heal your heart. You know, you can heal the wounding, the feelings, the hurt, the pain. But the thing that keeps coming back up are the thoughts. Remember, swords are thoughts. And so each time you don't heal, you know, each time those memories keep popping up from your past or whatever it was that hurt you to begin with, each time that memory pops up again, it's like you go back to it. And you're kind of, I mean, you are really vacillating right now. With the Hanged Man, you could be dealing with a Pisces also, but it's more of needing to look at things in a different way. The Hanged Man purposefully puts himself here in order to be enlightened, to see things from a different point of view, and I feel like you need to see the Three of Swords in a different point of view. Like, these are lessons that you're learning, and I'm not diminishing it in any way, but it's almost like because you keep going back to the Three of Swords, you're afraid to make the decision to move forward. You're afraid to make a decision for fear that it's going to fall back and it's going to hurt again. And we have the Fool, which is saying take the risk. Take the risk, jump off the cliff, make the decision. It doesn't have to be so hard, and it doesn't have to be a tower moment. But it's almost like this tower is inevitable, you know? And if you finally make a decision, Sagittarius, look at this. Six of Wands. There is victory behind that decision. It's almost like a sigh of relief. You know, like what I just did. That big sigh of relief. Finally, I made a decision. Finally, I've decided this is the way I'm going to go. Even if it's going to hurt again. Even, you know, but that's the thing is I feel like you're going a different route this time. And that's the scary part. But you have gifts coming to you from the universe, right? Judgment on the Ace of Pentacles. And if you if you vacillate for too long, or if you sit here for too long and you're like, I don't really know what to do, I don't really know what to do, that Ace of Pentacles could slip right by you. And you've been working so hard to get there. And Jupiter is going into your sign while Venus is still in retrograde in Scorpio. And Jupiter's full of gifts, right? Two cards of balance here. So we have Justice on Temperance. So I feel like when Venus goes back into Libra is when the balancing out and the decision can actually be made. I feel like right now you might be a little too emotional or a little too involved. What's the word I'm thinking of? A little too... It's like what we talked about in your reading for October, how people just keep messing with you. And that's what this Three of Swords is. It's like every single time a person or people keep coming back and messing with you and messing with you and messing with you, it throws you off balance. So I think you're like way, way, way in the thick of it right now. And you're way too emotional in this moment to make the decision. I do feel like once Venus goes back into Libra as it retrogrades, you'll be able to balance things out and be able to make a much more clear decision. And it really is in regards to where do I want to be in life? Where is my stability? How do I heal this Three of Swords? How do I start taking these swords out? How do I forget about the things that were said to me or communicated to me? How do I forget about the pain of, like the literal stabbing of my heart? How do I forget about all that? How do I move forward? And I think the balancing will happen. Yeah, see, you guys are way, way emotional. It could be that there's a water sign that, and you know, this happens, like I said, Venus, like retrogrades are all about reevaluating, redoing, people coming back from the past. The Queen of Cups could really be you being, like I said, ultra emotional and not really ready to make that decision, to pull the swords out, to heal the wounds that the swords created, right? Or it could be that there was a water sign that did this to you. It could be a Scorpio or a Pisces. And that's the fear, that once you get balanced out, they're going to show up. Because you keep hearing, oh, Venus in retrograde, people from your past are going to show up again. But I do feel like you guys are going to feel so much more like yourselves. And it could be during, you know, we have the Libra new moon today also, and that's really going to bring, today's the 8th of October. That's going to bring a lot of balance to you as well. So look at this in a different way. Look at it as a way to remove the swords and heal, right? Because the longer you think about and sit in the anxiety of when is it going to be my time, the Nine of Swords on the Wheel of Fortune, the Nine of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune on the Hanged Man, the longer you sit here and wonder in anxiety, when do I get my big break? When is it going to be my time? When do I finally get to rest? When do I finally get to come out of this Hanged Man position? Sorry for the noise in the hallway. The longer you sit there and wait, the harder this tower is going to be, and the longer this tower is going to happen, you know, because this doesn't have to just be one moment. This could last the entire month or the entire time of retrograde if you sit here and continue to vacillate. Or you could make the decision and rise to victory, rise to the occasion, see all the gifts in front of you. And the longer that you sit there and hope and pray instead of raising your vibration and getting out of the Nine of Swords, and I mean, like, don't be in a woe is me state, you know. And I'm not throwing any shade at you guys. Typically, I mean, the reason why I can be such an optimistic person is because of my Sagittarius moon, because you guys are just fun. I mean, like, you guys are just optimistic people, very real, very straightforward. You're going to tell people how it is, right? Oh, I see what this is involving. You're really using your logic behind this right now, because the cards are saying, with the Fool card, we have the Six of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Page of Swords. So I feel like the risk is giving. I almost feel like you need to give in to what the Lover's energy is, because where are you placing your energy? The Six of Pentacles, I always ask, you know, where is it that you're putting your energy? Is it in a place that deserves it, or are you giving all of your energy to people, places, and things that don't deserve it? And it's time with the Page of Swords to be honest with yourself. You could be dealing with a Gemini also. But this air energy is about being honest with yourself and trimming the fat, is what I like to say with the Page of Swords. And I feel like you guys have been waiting to be able to give back to a relationship, or hoping that you're going to get something in return. And I feel like the risk here is so great because you've been hurt in this before. This is like one of those destined relationships that you probably have had already, and it's coming back, or it's on your mind, and you don't want to get, and that's why the risk is so very great. So that's when you start looking at things and you're like, okay, where in my life do I need to start trimming things out? Do I need to let go of this relationship? Or do I need to take the risk? Is it worth it? Is the risk worth it? Is it worth me getting everything that I want? Or is that too good to be true? And that's where you guys are going to have to make, use your discernment, because I don't know the backstory of this relationship. I do know that this is something that's very, very strong. It's a very strong connection, but where do we go from here? And do we take that risk? So we have the Hermit, the Ten of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, 8 of Cups, Knight of Cups, and then the King of Pentacles. So you could be dealing with a Virgo. But I feel like I feel like you need to come out of hiding. I feel like you guys have been in hermit mode. And with the Ten of Swords, for me, the longer you stay in hermit mode, because you guys don't do hermit mode very well, everybody needs to recalibrate and be the hermit every once in a while. But your energy is one that, you have to be with the people. You have to get out there. And I feel like the longer you stay in hermit mode, the harder it's going to be, the tougher, the worse off you're going to feel, with the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords for me is not total devastation, but it feels like it. And the thing is once you get out of this, it's almost like things become very, very clear to you. Something has to end in order for you to, and I feel like it's a thought process. I feel like this, everything is over, everything is done thought process has to end, because because the reality is so different. If you were to come out of the Nine of Swords, if you were to come out of the Ten of Swords, if you were to come out of this Three of Swords feeling, you would actually see that things are so much better than you think they are, that the connection is still there, that it's actually very, very stable and long term, long lasting. But in order to feel this and to get this and to actually see that this is really what's happening, you need to find that abundance within yourself. The Nine of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is that journey of self-discovery. The Nine of Pentacles is feeling very strong and worthy within yourself. And before you can offer anything to this earth sign, we have the King of Pentacles here with the Knight of Cups. Before you can offer anything to this earth sign, whether it's a Virgo or Taurus or a Capricorn, you have to find that value within yourself. Because I know the urge to want to offer right now is very strong, is really very strong. But if you don't value yourself, if you don't see yourself as someone who deserves the Ten of Pentacles and the Two of Cups and the Lovers and the Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Wands, if you see yourself as the Hermit and the Ten of Swords, I'm not good enough, I'm just going to sit back here and tell myself how horrible of a person I am, or all the horrible things that I've done wrong, or all the bad luck that I have in my life. The longer you sit in this, the harder it's going to get to this Nine of Pentacles. So this Eight of Cups is really saying, find that strength within yourself, because the relationship is still there. The connection is still very, very strong, and it's still there. And you want to be able to offer something, or you want to be able to accept it from this earth sign. If there's an earth sign that has offered you something and you keep thinking that you're going to get hurt or it's going to be totally devastating because you're all up in your feels, it's not going to be the right time, right? You could essentially have everything that you've ever wanted. But after a time of balance, and I feel again, once Venus goes back into Libra, and possibly goes back into Libra and goes direct, that's when you're going to feel so much more like yourself again. Or, you know, this Libra new moon energy before the full moon could really, really help you with that too. But it's time for you to value yourself and hold your head up high and know that you deserve it. And this Tower energy is only a reminder that we always have lessons to learn. And I feel like the biggest lesson for you to learn right now is self-value and self-love, because you have been hurt so many times over and over and over again. Like this Three of Swords, you're not a stranger to this Three of Swords lately. Not this year. This year it's been tough. That Three of Swords has shown up so much. You deserve to have the Wheel of Fortune. And I know right now you're not really thinking that you do because of all the chaos and the stuff that's around you. But remember where you're giving your energy to. And if you're not giving enough to yourself, then that needs to flip, right? So I love you guys so much. This was actually really good advice for me too, because yesterday's, you know, like that episode, we'll call it an episode that I had, that's really great advice. Because I mean, it was easy for me to pick myself up yesterday, but I feel like it could easily come back with this potent energy, and it just flips a switch just like that. Like it's really quick. So please take care of yourselves during this time and really, really value who you are, because I do feel like this relationship is still pretty solid. This connection is very, very solid. And even if you don't believe it, the universe is giving this to you. Like it's a gift and it's being given to you, and you want to be in a place to be able to accept it. So the October soulmate readings are below. The extended versions are below. You can either get it on Vimeo or you can go to my website and order it there. The links are below in the description box. Also, if you want a personal reading from me, fearlessintuition.net. I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful October, and I will see you for November readings. Bye.